Us now, political analyst Brian Sobel. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
A lot of political maneuvering and moving pieces in Washington right now. Do you think lawmakers are going to reach a last-minute deal when they vote at 7 o'clock tonight?
Well, the American people hope so, because I think the alternative is not something that any of us want. It depends on what the long-term play here is by either the Republicans or the Democrats. If you're bringing something to a vote, one might assume that the Republicans know where the votes are, or they intend to go to a vote, not win, and run out and blame.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, Brian, is that when you listen to Democrats and you listen to Republicans, all they're doing is blaming the other side, and it almost seems sometimes like they're more interested in figuring out who's going to take the fall for this as opposed to coming up with a compromise solution. Why is compromise so difficult?
Well, you know, this country was built on compromise, and for whatever reason, these lawmakers get in there and they find their entrenched positions, and they won't move off them. And leadership, obviously, is about moving people along to a solution, and we don't seem to be getting great leadership in the Senate from either Republicans or Democrats, in the sense that they can come up with a solution that'll work. You know, compromise results in everybody feeling some pain. It can't be a total win.
There's been so much talk over DACA. One of the big sticking points is the protections for DACA recipients. Do you think Republicans and Democrats are going to be able to come together and reach some sort of compromise when it comes to this?
I think there are a number of Republicans that believe that DACA needs to be reformed, the idea of DACA, and they're willing to do that. The Democrats on this particular round of issues say, hey, we're not going to vote for anything unless DACA is solved. And then there's these wayward Republicans who say, you know, if the military spending isn't squared away, that's not going to work. Rand Paul is saying it's too big a budget hit. So they're all over the board. But I think on DACA, there's general agreement on the basic boundaries.
And the problem here, Brian, is that if there is a shutdown, this affects real people. This has real impact on people's lives, particularly if people don't get a paycheck and they're living paycheck to paycheck. This hurts. I guess what I don't understand is, why can't these leaders say, we're going to go in this room, we're going to lock this door, and we're not coming out until we come up with a solution? I mean, this isn't rocket science here.
No, and leadership, you know, comes from the top, and you have very powerful forces at work. They could get into a room and figure this out, but there's a tremendous amount of posturing that's going on right now. And don't forget the backdrop. The backdrop is the midterm elections. You know, in a few months, there is a chance that if this problem accrues to the Republicans, Democrats will win a lot of seats.
All right.
So,
we'll leave it at that. The clock is ticking, and we're going to have you back with us in the next hour.
Absolutely.
We'll talk more about this.
Absolutely.
Brian, thank you.
You're very welcome.
President Trump and other Republican leaders offered support today for the